fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. It just got really hard not to try and laugh. Anyways, now, go ahead and double check that. Make sure that's right. Yeah, I'm doing this for a series. Anyways, now, because of how dark certain series on my channel might get, specifically Sociopath, Batman Who Laughs, and Berserk Guts, that last one in particular, yeah, I'm going to be doing this series side by side with that one, for the most part. I'm trying to, in order to provide some comic relief. So hopefully, that does turn out well. Hopefully those of you guys who find it, well, the Guts series dark, jump over here for comic relief. And to at least throw that to the side. That's serious, actually. But anyways, you guys don't have to watch that series, I'm not telling you to. You can just watch this one and that's cool. Anyways now, with that all being said, this is going to be what if Deku had a tomboy girlfriend. I actually saw, whenever I was looking through what ifs earlier, a few, and I saw Oni X, a friend of mine. I actually saw 2 of his what ifs pop up on my feed, and then I saw another one, and I just started brainstorming and actually had a laugh for a minute, thinking about what I would do for a series. So I wrote some things down, and ironically I picked this one. Now, with that being said, let us begin. Our story will start with Izuku Midoriya, and the time he found out that he was quirkless. Now, after Midoriya found this out, a week was taken off of school. Midoriya's mother, she acted to try and console her baby. She wanted to make sure her son would be okay. So, she decided that Midoriya, he would take time off of school and she would try and help him get his head back on his shoulders, since he's quirkless. Now, at first, this was found to be difficult. However, after a week passed, Midoriya was sent back to school. Him at least having a bit more time to process things and try and understand it. Along with his mom trying to at least say that Midoriya can still be a hero. Her meaning that Midoriya can be a police officer. Or possibly something else like a firefighter. Or possibly even a private eye. She wanted to spitball all these ideas at Midoriya, but she knew he wanted to be a hero. Now, there is the day that Midoriya returned to school. And apparently, somebody has just moved, or at least transferred into their school, along with actually moved into the country. Now, with that being said, this is where Midoriya, whenever he's actually, well, sitting there and trying to think about everything, he does actually hear people talking about the new kid's quirk. Now, Midoriya would be quite surprised, hearing that apparently it's very powerful, and even Bakugo is spouting off about how that quirk is weak and insignificant. Well, the new kid is actually quite lively, talking back to Bakugo and yelling at him that their quirk is still dangerous. Even then, their quirk is better. Now, Midoriya, he actually would see the new kid and think that that guy, He has a pretty strange quirk. What is it? It's not explosions, is it? Okay. I'd have to figure that out later. Now, with that being said, there is later on at recess, where people are talking, and then there is actually Midoriya, who is sitting down and actually drawing in a small notebook, as certain people are talking. And we do actually have Bakugo, who is screaming at the top of his lungs. And Midoriya, he does look up to see the new kid. Bakugo and two other people are facing off against them. Bakugo talking about how he's going to beat some sense into the sky for always talking crap. They've been doing that ever since they got here. Now, he just shouts that McKenna is going to be in a world of hurt. And Midoriya, he does actually decide to try and step in. He needs to be a hero. Now, with that, as soon as Midoriya does actually stand up, he does go to walk over, or to run in, watching as Bakugo tries to throw out a punch. As soon as he does, he actually just knocks the new kid off guard, as they actually throw out their own hand and hit Bakugo. As soon as they do, Bakugo, he himself goes flying backwards, as two people do rush at the new kid, them just throwing their arms around and trying to flail. As Midoriya, he actually just jumps into the fight, him grabbing onto somebody, as he's able to actually pull them off, pulling this bigger kid by his wings for a second, as the new kid punches them again, the kid actually falling backwards and almost landing on Midoriya, who himself did actually back up, before he went straight for Bakugo. Bakugo focusing on the new kid, who just threw another punch at his, lackey, before starting to focus on Bakugo. Now, Midoriya was actually able to grab Bakugo over his right shoulder and bringing his left hand upwards, was able to grab onto him and try and hold onto him, as the new kid immediately, pushed on him. And Midoriya, he was actually able to throw his body weight around and make Bakugo land flat on the ground. As Bakugo, he got back up, shouting that, "What is this Quirkless, no one, doing?" And Midoriya, he just simply just brought his hands up, as the same kid did do the same thing, talking about how they don't know who he is, but thanks. Now, Midoriya, he just said that they're fine, or don't worry about it. Kachan, you have to be nicer to people. Like hell, Deku. Now, Bakugo did train Russian again. However, this is whenever teachers did actually decide to break things up, finally taking notice to this loud kid constantly shouting. And everyone was actually brought inside and taken to the nurse's office. The new kid has a few scratches, and so does Midoriya. However, the kids that were on the ground do actually suffer from swelling in their faces, and, bruises on their body, along with Bakugo having his clothes dirty and somewhat scuffed up, along with actually a busted lip. Now, with that, Bakugo is still somewhat mad, and whenever Mitsuki does arrive, she scolds and punches him across the head, along with Inko actually kind of surprised at getting a phone call, coming down to the school and finding out exactly what happened, learning that her son apparently got into a fight. Now, along with that, we actually do have the new kid, who does have her parents arrive. Now, with that being said, Inko was quite surprised to meet somebody, and hearing that apparently, whenever a girl was getting bullied, Midoriya tried to step in and help. However, apparently, with their quirk, they were able to defend themselves. Now, with that being said, Inko talked to the mother of this girl, while Midoriya, he was talking to them himself. Him actually having bandages, or at least band-aids on his face and certain other parts of his body that do have injuries. Like his hands and at least his arms from when Bakugo tried throwing an explosion. Talking to them about how that was actually kind of weird. Why was Kacchan bullying you? Probably because of my quirk. Your quirk? Yeah, my quirk. It's strange. What is it? Doctors say that whenever I move my hands, then bring them up and balling them into a fist, throwing it out forwards before bringing it backwards, saying that it's like a point A, point B. As soon as they make contact with something and hit it, if they were to do the same thing, they can put twice the amount of force into it. And that it actually does somewhat hurt. Then bringing up their knuckles and showing that whenever they hit the same target twice, their hands are a bit red, and actually slowly turning a bit purple. Talking about how that guy was very annoying. Yeah, he's kind of changed. Changed? What do you mean? Well, I know him. We used to be friends. I think you need better friends. By the way, what's your name? Oh, sorry. I'm Izuku. Izuku? Izuku what? Izuku Midoriya. Okay. My name's Katie McCain. Katie? Uh, yeah. Um, wait, that sounds like a girl's name. Wait, sorry. Not that I mean anything by it. I mean, it's a cool name. It's totally fine. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna stop talking now. No. Actually, you're right. I mean, granted, I look like my older brother, but well, not by much. Even then, I think it's just the hair. Now, Midoriya is surprised to learn that apparently this is a girl. He thought that the new kid was a guy, especially from the way people were talking about them. And surprise, surprise, they're not. Now, with that being said, whenever Katie's mother and Inko do walk in, they do actually see these two having conversations like that. And Inko can see that her son, he does look a lot more lively. And he's actually talking to somebody. That's pretty interesting. Her actually surprised whenever she walks up and asks as to what they're talking about. Both of them discussing pro heroes. And trying to at least figure out who's the best. Midoriya shouting All Might. While Katie, well, she shouts somebody different. Like the samurai guy, who I believe is the number 10 hero, since All Might is still around. Because I think he was number 9. Or no, I could be wrong. He could be the number 11 hero at this time. Now, Midoriya's confused as to who that guy is. However, Katie talks about how a guy in a giant suit of armor wielding a sword is a hero. And it's actually pretty cool. Now, Midoriya, yeah. He does find it to be kind of interesting, but you do have All Might, who's able to do all this crazy stuff with the wind. Even then, look at him. He's always smiling. Now, Midoriya, after talking a bit more, he does go home with his mother. And she actually has commented that Midoriya, he must have actually made a friend. And if he does, still hang out with Bakugo. Midoriya talking about how Bakugo, he was actually kind of mean. And today he was picking on his new friend. And then there is Katie, who was talking about somebody who helped her on, well, during her first week of school. And that she was actually pretty thankful to have met them. Now, eventually, after a bit more time, Midoriya and Katie do become friends. And eventually, Katie is invited over along with her family. And Inko does meet Katie's mother once again. Now, this is pretty interesting. Whenever Katie and Midoriya are playing, these two are talking and learning quite a bit. Apparently, their situation isn't too different from Inko and Midoriya's. Katie and her family, they moved here from America because of her father's job. However, Katie's father believed that this transfer would actually be somewhat permanent. And he decided just to move the entire family there because it would be a whole lot cheaper than him coming to visit, getting plane tickets, the whole thing. It would just be a waste. Plus, apparently Japan is very, well, insane with certain things. Plus, if they can meet pro heroes and even get All Might's autograph, that would be pretty good too. Her dad's kind of a hero fanatic, and a lot of the top 10 heroes reside in Japan. Yeah. Along with that, it was pretty simple. Now, with all that being said, Midoriya does learn a bit more about Katie. She wants to become a pro hero with her quirk. However, the problem with it is, every time she does try and train, she hurts her hands a lot, and her knuckles specifically, along with her wrists and forearms. So she does want to train. Asking Midoriya about his quirk. Midoriya having to say that he's quirkless. And her asking exactly what's the point in that. What do you mean? Being quirkless. It doesn't matter. What? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Besides, think about it. What is so special about Endeavor? His quirk, of course. Yeah, but I mean, fire, right? It's a pretty dangerous ability. Even then, the guy's basically just jacked. Huh? Yeah, he's super muscular and strong. And he trains a lot. Just like All Might. So, I don't see why you couldn't become a hero. Really? Yeah. Just train. That's what I plan to do. Besides, even with my quirk, I'm sure if I trained it enough, I could be a pro. Midoriya is somewhat beginning to tear up a bit. And Katie kind of caught off guard. Not sure she said the wrong thing to make Midoriya cry. However, this is something that Midoriya needed to hear someone say. And that was the day that he decided what he's going to do. He is going to try and prove to the world that he can be a pro hero. Now, with all of that being said, Katie would leave and head home. While Midoriya, he does immediately want to jump into training. But there's just one problem. He doesn't have any weights to lift, and he does not have the slightest idea what he is doing. Now, with that being said, he does want to start looking online, and he does actually ask his mother about this. asking her if he can still become a pro hero, even without a quirk. Her freezing this time, and not sure what to say. Midoriya is saying that Katie said that it was possible, and that he does want to start training immediately. Uh, Midoriya, no, don't do that. Huh? Why, Mom? Izuku, if you start training right now, it's going to hurt you a lot. Okay, but why not? No, Izuku, honey, that's not what I mean. What I'm trying to say is, if you start working out so young, then you're going to hurt yourself when you're older. I mean, sure, it's nice to be in good shape and all, but if you try and do all that stuff now, it's just going to hurt you later. Okay, but still. Can you at least help me look it up and research it a bit? Sure, I can help you do that. Now, Inko would then help Midoriya. She does think it's somewhat neat and kind of strange, however. Her helping put together a guide for training for Midoriya whenever he does get a bit more older. Have Midoriya write it down on a few pieces of paper, and her taking it from Midoriya. She'll give this back to him when she believes that it would not hurt him. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.